You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network. Visit pencilandpaperproductions.podbean.com to find more great podcasts.
Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo!
Welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White, and with me is my co-host, Todd Stark.
I'm back. I'm still alive.
You feeling better?
Feeling a lot better.
Good. There's a lot of rain and sickness and illnesses going around, and this weather is not helping, going from 70 to 30 and then back to 70 and then back to 30.
Yeah, and I really think that was the problem.
Yeah, I honestly really feel like it is. 100%.
Welcome to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. So beyond that, I mean, if you're feeling good, did you get any gameplay time in?
I did, man. I'm still just playing Resident Evil 2.
It's fine.
Yeah, I love how I really miss survival horror. I think because horror and survival horror are two different things, and they can just nail how that used to feel on that game. So
this type of survival horror, so to speak.
Yeah, like you have 5 bullets left and you're going to go around the corner and I've already played through it, so I know that this is waiting around that corner. Mm-hmm. And I know I don't have enough bullets, so I'm going to have to figure out how to run from it.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, so it's great. I missed it.
Oh, good.
And how was Red Dead this week?
Red Dead is good. I finally, yesterday, moved to Chapter 5 because I don't want to say I'm getting bored with it or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I think I was just at a point where I was like, you know what? Let's get the story moving a little bit because I was trying to do this side mission and I think I just got fed up with it because I have seen every bird imaginable in this game except for a robin. And that's all I'm looking for is a robin. And I've looked up online where a good spot to find a robin is. I have not seen a robin in these areas. I have ran into 2 amongst all the areas that I've ran and looked, and I wasn't even looking for them. They were just random encounters.
Right.
And 1 I shot, and it was no good because I needed a perfect, and it was just good.
Well, how do you kill them without?
Well, see, I've got a trinket that can boost the percentage that some of the pelts that you get, as long as they were decent, like if they were perfect 3 stars and they go down, there's a chance they'll go back up.
So maybe you kill it with a bow and arrow or something?
Well, I've just been using my varmint rifle and hoping for the best because I don't know what else to use. I know the small game arrows or whatever, but it's already hard enough to try and catch the little buggers because they float out of trees. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the other part about it. You can't just find them like you can everything else. You just either shake them out of a tree or luck out and spot one flying above your head.
So you can catch them?
You shoot them, and then their corpse will come down. And you just pick them up and put them in your pocket.
Gotcha. Okay.
And essentially, the side mission that I'm doing, I found like a flyer at, I think it was a post office in Rhodes. Yeah. And they were like, "Hey, send us some carcasses for some stuff." And I was like, "Okay, I can do that." And it was like a cardinal, a squirrel, and a rat.
Yep. Okay.
And I was like, "Sure, I can do that." And the cardinals, I see cardinals all the time now.
Right.
So on my hunt for this robin, the elusive robin, that again I've only seen twice. Second time, I was so mad because I was riding down this area, and you know how sometimes you target something, you can see it from a distance. I targeted it and it said robin, and I didn't notice it until it was too late, and I lost sight of it, and I was like, where? And it was just gone. I was like, damn it. So I was so mad.
That game, you think it's like more of a time based, like what time of the day?
Yeah.
So that's how it is with those.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out is because at night I know I'm not gonna find a robin. But there's another part to this that I've got to find because I've collected everything else I need except for 2 items, and that's the robin and a possum. But I don't want to go after a possum Even though I'm sure I can run across those because I run across those not as frequently as some of the other stuff, but I know where to look.
Well, you got to go after the possum to get the robin.
But see, if I get the possum, it's going to rot on my horse
But
by the time I get done.
But if you say you're going for the possum, you'll automatically find the robin.
Well, there was also a glitch I was kind of hoping to exploit, like randomly.
Yeah.
I think one of the birds that I had to pick up was an oriole.
Right.
And for whatever reason, it started to count as the possum because it was checked off my box. And I was like, I never caught a possum. And I started looking through my bag and I was like, where's the possum? But then when I caught the next item, the check went off. I was like, damn it.
She went and turned it in.
Hoping I could play the system.
Yeah, that'd been great.
But no. But this damn robin, man, I got frustrated because like I don't know what else to do unless someone can tell me a spot, a direct spot that this is going to always be every single time. I just can't. I've lost my patience for it. Right. I have hunted so many birds. In fact, my bag is filled with perfect carcasses of all these other birds.
Can you sell them?
Yeah, but I'm hanging on to them for just in case.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So, if I ever got the robin and finished this up and they wanted more, I was like, oh, I got plenty.
Yeah, I got every damn bird there is.
Yeah, I just don't have a robin.
Right.
So don't ask for another one.
Don't get a robin.
Yeah, I've got everything else you want. A sparrow, an oriole. I got a blue jay. I got all these birds except for that one.
It's always that one.
So I'm frustrated with the bird situation. I said, to hell with it. Focus on the stories, nothing else. And I got through to chapter 5. So
story-wise, where are you at? What's happening?
Well, spoilers for anybody who doesn't want to know. 3, 2, 1. Shipwrecked.
Okay.
Like I didn't do anything beyond that point.
Okay.
I went through that entire story. It was getting late by the time I got there. So I was just like, well.
You're not alone.
So, yeah, I kind of figured, but I'm curious to see where the story's going because I got very frustrated. Continuing spoilers, just so you're aware, if you don't want to hear any of this, just skip ahead. I'm so mad at how many people we're losing. Yeah. Because after that bank robbery, I was like, come on, man. I loved Hosea.
Oh, I did too. He was
one of my favorite characters. He's somebody I felt like you could trust, always trust, and then he goes down. Lenny goes down.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't really feel like it's a spoiler, but if people don't want to be spoiled, is John coming back, or are we done with him? Because I heard on the way out, everybody was just like, "Oh, he got caught by the cops and all that," and I was like, so I was kind of under the impression, was like, so is this where his story ends, and then it kind of trails off to the other one, or is he coming back? Maybe. Well, just say yes or no.
I don't want to.
I know he's either got to come back or he won't. So if you just say yeah, then I'm like, all right, cool. So I know I'll see him again. Because to me, I was like, so if he disappeared at that point, then that's the end of his story in this game, and then it just trails off to part 1. So if all you say is yes, then I know I'll see him again, and I won't think nothing of it.
Well, what if I don't want to say anything?
But all you'd have to say is yes or no.
I know what I have to say, but what if I don't want to?
It's not going to change anything for me.
It might.
No, it won't.
It might.
I don't think it will.
It might.
I'm just stuck between. I mean, right now, I really don't care. Yes or no? Am I going to see him again?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Does that change my perspective? I don't know, because I don't know what the story's going to be.
Well,
I know his story later on, but I don't know what the story is now. That's the beauty of this, is I have kept myself spoiler free from anything regarding the story. So I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen where we are now. Like, no clue. I can assume things. Mm-hmm. Like, when we got to the bank, I'm just like, as always, something bad's going to happen. I didn't see those things coming.
Right.
But I was under the impression every time. And that's another thing, too. You probably already know the answer to this. Somebody's setting us up. Because every single time we go somewhere, they say they knew we were coming. They knew. And it's like, of course they knew. Somebody's setting you up. So I'm under the impression I have an idea who's doing it. But something tells me maybe I'm wrong.
Tell me who. I'm shutting my face off from you so you don't see my reaction.
Okay.
You say the name that you think.
I've got 2 guesses. The one I would assume immediately would be Micah, and that's simply because I don't give a damn how hard-nosed he's trying to be or whatever, but I could see him selling out the entire crew for his own gain. But I have my suspicions of another person that I'm going to keep to myself. But Mike is my main person that I'm targeting in my guesses. Okay, cool. All right. But anyway, that's enough of spoiler talk of Red Dead. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get to play a little bit more this weekend.
You should. There's 7 chapters.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get a little ground covered. Give me this little hint. As far as where I'm at now, is it knowing me?
Right.
Knowing me. Am I going to spend some time here? Or will it just be...
There may be some little finders things here or there.
Okay.
It's 2 missions and you're done with that place.
So I wouldn't really worry too much about exploring it and hunting, and because I know I could get lost in that if I tried.
I mean, you might the hunting, maybe there might be some exotic birds or something.
Okay. Maybe I can find a robin there.
Maybe he went all the way over and shipwrecked with you. I don't. Well, that part I kind of just. It's when you start the missions, it's kind of moves real fast.
Yeah.
And then it just ended and you were out. So I didn't really get that chance.
Okay.
I felt like there is like 1 or 2 opportunities to roam around, but I felt like there wasn't anything there really.
All right. Well, if there's nothing there, then good. I'll probably get through pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about some news since we've spoiled so much of that.
Well, that's okay.
For some people.
Hopefully everybody's played it.
You know what? I'm the one late to the party. Everybody else should have played it by now.
Yeah, they should have played it.
All right. We've got quite a bit of news. There's a lot of stuff that happened this week, believe it or not. So we'll try to get through it as quick as we can. First of all, last week I mentioned in our a real kind of casual quicket that there was a report that came out stating that Activision Blizzard was going to lay off a massive amount of employees on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And it was very much factual as the company laid off over 800 employees.
Damn.
Now the question that a lot of people have asked is why? Because CEO Bobby Kotick, he recently touted the company's record results for 2018. In fact, they were the best the company had ever seen. But in his words, the company didn't realize, quote, its full potential, whatever the hell that means.
So we get rid of 800 people.
Yeah. So Activision Blizzard offered those affected a comprehensive service package as well as supporting support in finding a new job. I did see that their severance package, this is a joke someone made, they handed them loot boxes in hopes to see who gets a pink slip and who doesn't.
Loot boxes and Destiny too.
Yeah.
Have fun.
So, numerous names in the industries as well as gamers themselves who no doubt contributed to the problem, then help if you ask me. Because, how are we going to take these companies down? You're going to sit there and complain about them all the time. Stop buying their shit.
Right.
Don't buy it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because now they're realizing we don't. Well, and maybe they lost Destiny. That was 800 people that was messing around. Some of them were messing with Destiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, these people, the company itself did not maintain record growth like this without people buying their games.
Yep.
So do not act like they're such a horrible company if you were the one out there buying their games, supporting them.
Right.
You can't have it both ways. That's not how it works. Anyway, people took to Twitter. They said whatever they had to be in support and defiance, to everything, because that's what people do is bitch and complain and then be like, oh, I'm so sorry for you. And you know what? I'm sorry for these people too.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make a light of it. It's just...
I just think it's
if you're not going to have anything important to say, just shut up. Because most people just do it just to stir the pot.
They're probably just, restructuring or something like that. That happens in businesses, and it sucks. But
here's where it gets a little funny, okay? Because there was, just to show you, kind of touch on this real quick, there was actually a petition to fire the CEO, by the way. That's how crazy all this got. Anyway, what's more interesting about this story is that following the layoffs, just a mere few days later, the company announced its hiring for several positions on projects like Overwatch and Diablo, which begs a bigger question. Why not offer these jobs to those people you just laid off?
And maybe they did. Maybe they are.
Well, I would guess, if I had to guess, the reason they didn't offer these jobs is because they probably pay less, and then they're trying to cut those pays out, hiring new people, and then you don't have to pay them as much. Guarantee it.
Either that or say, hey, you can have the job, but you have to reapply and you're going to get less pay. Some crap like that.
Even still.
Yeah.
It's
low.
Or shit.
Yeah.
One way or the other, I don't like it.
Yeah.
How they did it. And I don't think they're going to give him that opportunity if they gave him a severance package.
Yeah. Probably not.
But yeah, there's that debacle. Chime in on what you think. If you got any opinions. I got a lot. I don't recall the last Activision Blizzard game I have even purchased. I don't play Overwatch. I don't play Diablo. I don't know anything that they have that I have bought.
I bought Call of Duty. Black Ops
I don't buy
4.
that. I don't play that.
That's it, though. I don't think I bought anything else.
I'm getting my water. I'm getting dry. I'm going to start coughing again, damn it. That happened last week. And I hope everybody got to hear our little bonus at the end.
I did, and I guessed it right.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
So, if you want to know what he's talking about, go to the other episode and listen to the very, very end.
The very
end.
end.
You'll know. Another bit of news. Last week, there was a bit that came out from the Sony camp. First, we had the announcement of the new CEO and president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, Jim Ryan. He's actually been with the company since 1994, and he's actually been in this role in a temporary capacity since last year, so now it's official. He is now the president. Then Sean Layden opened up about Sony furthering its commitment to crossplay, admitting that they were a bit tone deaf to the initial demand from fans. He then continued to say that the company is open to allowing more crossplay among titles. However, certain developers commented by saying that the process is not as easy as he makes it sound. Despite one dev stating they could literally toggle a switch for their game to make crossplay work, the steps required to approve crossplay isn't a guarantee, with Chucklefish Games CEO Finn Bryce saying, Chucklefish, Finn. Anyway, he said that many of the requests made for crossplay through both their account manager and directly with higher-ups, all the way... You know what? I'm going to rewind that because I got a tickle in my throat. And I was trying to get through that without coughing, and it didn't work. So I'm going to leave that in, too. So, Finn Bryce, the guy that I laughed at, because he's with Chucklefish, said, "We made many requests for crossplay, both through our account manager and directly with higher-ups, all the way up until release month. We were told in no uncertain terms that it is not going to happen."
Well, how long ago was this?
I don't know. I don't even know what the game is. He didn't
either.
say. So, kind of makes you wonder who's being disingenuous here. Is it them or them?
And it might just be your game's not big enough.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why should it matter? I mean, what is it going to matter for the crossplay thing? I mean, why is it such a big deal to have to go through this loophole of approvals?
I have no clue, man.
That's the part I guess I'm trying to understand. If I understood that part of it, then maybe I'd understand Sony's side of it.
I think there's a monetary thing to be talked about, because if you're playing crossplay and say you take your account across all things, right? Mm-hmm. So what if you go on the Switch and you buy stuff, when you come back on your PlayStation, it's not going to be there. So now, Switch got all the money. I figure there's probably, like with Fortnite, that was when it came up. Like, I think that the money was put in a pool or something. I don't know how they figured it out, but they did somehow or another. And that's the only reason they flipped the Switch.
Well, I'd say with certain games that could work, but maybe not. I mean, when I think of crossplay overall, I mean, I can understand with the whole Fortnite thing. Me personally, I'm going to be stuck to one system.
Right.
You know, I feel like that's stupid. I just want to be able to play with other people on other systems. Right. So if somebody has an Xbox game and I have the PlayStation version and we want to play together, I want to just be able to do that. I have no interest in going and buying an Xbox. I have no interest in it whatsoever. Right. I just want to be able to play with my friend. You know, there's a reason we all have different consoles. That's just what we prefer.
Right.
But sooner or later, we're all going to hit the same game and be like, oh, yeah, let's play that together. Oh, no, I can't because I got this. You know, just
that's the way it's always been. It's just...
I know. Anyway, finally, Layden also commented on Sony bowing out of E3. He pointed out how E3 used to be a much larger trade show, but that it isn't necessarily true anymore, with trade activity dropping and the expo itself not being what it is or what it should be today, not really course correcting and changing times.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, the instant spread of information on the internet diminishes the need for journalists to even attend to get the word out because it's already out there
Right.
when it hits. So he finished by saying that with Sony's decision to put out fewer but bigger games over longer periods of time, they will really have nothing to say at E3. So there's no point in them being there.
Yeah, I think that directly affects just this E3. I don't think they're really talking about the future as much as they are. That's why they didn't come this time.
But I don't really feel like it would be that odd to think that he would be talking about future E3s.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it depends.
I mean, it really does, because I don't know. Because for me, I would say that with Nintendo already doing their Nintendo Direct treehouses and stuff like that, and then now they're bowing out, say it soon at some point, it's not going to feel as necessary anymore because they're all doing their own expos, they're all doing their own shows. So yeah, just show me that.
Yeah, and I hate that that it's got like that with E3 because that's one time of the year when I just loved it. It was kind of like gamer Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it's just you wait that week, you wake up, go to work, come home as quick as possible, and wait for the show to start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss myself the PlayStation experiences. I just like that. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There is something nice about it, but if you can at least give it to us in some other way,
right,
whether it's E3 or not, just
yeah,
I do enjoy the spectacle of it.
Yeah,
you've got a whole slew of games, and you're going to be like, hey, here, this is what we're going to show you. Get ready, get hyped. Okay, I'm ready, I'm hyped. Just show me what you got.
Right.
Don't do it like you did last year at E3. Just, you got a slew of games coming? Give them
I think they screwed up by taking that break.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just show a sizzle reel for us. Don't go to that stupid little thing. Say, these are games that are coming. Show that for the next 3 or 4 minutes. And then roll into then they went into that other thing and they stated everything was in there from then on. So then it could just flowed right into that. You wouldn't have known anything. They went to that awkward thing with Sid Schumann or whatever his name is. And because I want to punch him in the face. I hate his face.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he means well. God bless you, dude. But, I want to punch you in the face.
It's okay. But, yeah, I love when they do it right, it can be fun. But when they did whatever they did last year, it was kind of like...
Yeah, I think they knew we're fixing to show some of the same shit over and over. Let's try to make it like a theatrical presence. And it didn't work. They tried something. It didn't work.
And at least this year, if they know that they're not going to have anything new to show, or at least anything crucially new to show, then bow out. Just be like, we really don't have anything that's we don't have anything right now.
We don't have it. Yep.
You're going to see all this other stuff. Everybody else is going to have their games. We don't really have anything on our end that we want to show you right now. So, fair enough.
I mean, they're right at the tail end. We've seen everything they've got coming. You don't really want to run out and, blow your wad on the PS5 yet.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of in a funny period here, and I think they made the right choice.
All right. Next thing we've got is lately, everyone wants to sue someone for something that they may or may not have the right to sue over, but people will try anyway.
It's America.
Now, we've recently mentioned lawsuits pending against Epic Games and the dance move seen in Fortnite. The first one to ever come down the pipeline was from rapper 2 Milli. 2 Milli. I don't know him.
That's like plastic, ain't it? 2
Show me
Milli
a
plastic.
picture and let me listen to a song, and I wouldn't know who that was.
You got me standing next to him. I don't know who he is.
Yeah. So he's apparently suing over the Swipe It emote because it resembles a dance step he created.
I still don't understand that.
Numerous other people followed suit and tried to get their money out of the company for the same thing. I mean, I know we've mentioned them on the show who had the next lawsuit in line. However, Epic is fighting back, and it looks like they might actually win.
Good.
Because the company's attorney argued that the plaintiff's lawsuit is fundamentally at odds with the free speech principles as it attempts to impose liability by claiming rights that do not exist under the law. No one can own a dance step. Copyright law is clear that an individual dance steps and a simple dance routine are not protected by copyright, but rather are building blocks of free expression, which are in public domain for choreographers, dancers, and the general public to use, perform, and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
This statement was further enforced by the U.S. Copyright Office, who informed Mr. Alfonso Ribeiro, who is suing over the Carlton dance routine.
What was that, Carlton? That is, That's the guy who played Carlton in it.
Mm-hmm. That his attempt to copyright the Carlton dance was denied, since it is nothing more than a simple dance routine. So I think that once one of these is officially dismissed, they're all going out the door. They're gone.
Good. Yep.
So
you just said it right there to me. Like, they don't have a leg to stand on.
They don't, because I've found that to be odd. You know, I mean, if you honestly say that you're going to copyright a dance routine, then every time someone is dancing on Just Dance or whatever, then they're going to be sued too. Mm-hmm. So everybody who dances can be sued because, you dancing my dance.
That's like saying, I made that word up. You can't talk.
Yeah.
Don't be saying that word.
So, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Anyway, on a related topic, wrestler Booker T is going after Activision Blizzard for copyright infringement, saying that the character Prophet from Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 4, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
God, I'm trying not to. Why am I coughing so much? Is a direct copy of his character G.I. Bro. I love that. Now, if you laid out the two characters, like their story backgrounds, nothing is similar. Nothing at all. However, if you look at art of the two characters side by side, there's a very clear connection. Like, it almost looks like they ripped that off almost to the T. So, no word yet on how much money he's looking for or what actions he's suing for, but yeah, I think they've got a leg.
Possibly, I don't know.
I mean, is it that much of a stretch to think Activision Blizzard ripped somebody off?
I don't know. Do they know who G.I. Bro is?
Clearly they do if you looked at these pictures.
Is it a...
I think
what does G.I. Bro look like? Is he generic?
He looks like Prophet.
But I mean, does he look generic? Because I can't think what Prophet looks like.
I mean, I guess about as generic as you can go, but not... I mean, with giving it some sort of flair, you know what I mean? I mean, you just have to see the pictures. I don't know much about that character. I didn't really look at it, but you could see the similarities.
I feel like Booker T just threw some reverse racism out, trying to say two black dudes look the same.
Who knows? And in Is That Still a Thing news, Pokemon Go creator Niantic recently agreed to a settlement around a class action lawsuit filed against the company back in 2016. The suit filed that let me try that again.
Do it.
The suit was filed. I'm having trouble today. I'm going to leave all this in just for fun. The suit was filed by business and homeowners who had gyms and Pokestops placed at their address. These placements led to numerous instances of trespassing on private property and even accidents caused by high traffic volume. The settlement will pay named plaintiffs about $1,000 for their trouble, and the game will now offer a right of removal for all homeowners, while business owners will see a mechanism put in place to better honor their business hours. But I would assume they would also have that right to refusal at some point.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if you're a small business owner and you don't want your place to be a Pokestop, then I think you ought to have a right to say no.
Yeah. I mean, why would they make houses Pokestop?
I don't know. I mean, that is a good point.
I think I remember when I was kind of caught up in the craze, there was somebody's house that was a stop, and I was like, is that a business? Because I thought it was just businesses. I didn't realize people's houses could be a Pokestop.
That would be fucking, all of a sudden somebody's catching a Pokemon on my back porch. I'm like, what?
I'm like, what are you doing? There's Pokemon here, man. No, there's not. Get the hell off my porch.
Get out. It'd probably be you or Heath trying to catch the damn Pokemon.
Well, it's not me. I haven't played that game in years. Now, the next thing we've got is former rapper turned streamer
2 Millie?
Deadmau5.
Oh,
you know who Deadmau5 is?
Yeah, he like the DJ.
Yeah, it looks like Big Mouse Head, whatever.
Yeah.
He was banned from Twitch last week due to the use of a homophobic slur, which Is there? I'm not going to say it, but is there more than one? I mean, I can really only think of one.
Well, what did he say?
The F word.
Well,
is there another one that I'm missing?
Q be one too? Like if you used like negative?
I feel like that one's kind of got more of a pass now. Like, you know, like
we'll let that one go.
People,
I guess
people
like
don't
in the
really
way you
look at
say
it
it,
that
though.
way. You know what I mean?
I guess in the way you say it and the context you use it in, like you could use it pretty bad. You know, you can make it seem real negative.
I feel like no one bats an eye at that one, but you say the F one and people just, like you said, the N word. So I feel like it's got that same connotation, but I can't think of any other race. Like, I don't want to say it's a racist term. It's just a bigoted term.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any. I'm not trying to.
No.
I find it, like, what else are you going to say? Again, I'm not defending him. Understand me, people. I want to know, is there another one out there that I'm missing? Because I don't.
Is that what he said, though? He said the F word?
Yeah. Which, for some, I'll be honest with you, I think it's a common thing because we've seen other people do it too. You know, I think PewDiePie did it, and
like not meaning in that way.
It's in that, because this is what happened to him. He had a stream sniper, which if you don't know what that is, it's someone who's playing the game with you, but watching your stream, so he knows exactly where you are.
Yeah.
So he's getting killed by this guy, and then of course, just out of anger, he's like, says something to him and then calls him that word. So I think it's in that you get angry and you just say things.
Right.
And I'm going to admit that it's got to be in your vocabulary.
Oh, yeah.
Something you do say. Now, you may not mean to say it. Like, I'll admit, I've said that word.
Right.
When I was younger, I used to say it all the time because it was there.
Right.
You know, we weren't said, don't say that. It's bad. It's just something that we said.
It's like saying retarded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't mean it like that, but it just kind of flows into whatever you're saying.
You don't think about it.
Right.
And then that's why I'm trying to be respectful now and not say it because I don't want to offend anybody. But I've said it. I've caught myself saying it. I'm admitting this openly. I don't want to be lynched like Liam Neeson right now, but I'm just saying I tried not to say it.
Right.
But I have, and like I've played a game and just, and it comes out and I'm just like,
yeah, like somebody put me on Front Street when I said something. I said, "Oh, that's retarded," you know?
Yeah.
And he dude, don't say that. I have a special needs son. And I was like, "Oh, dude, I did not mean it like that at all. Like, I just want you to know that right now because I respected the dude, you know."
Yeah.
And I was so apologetic. I felt terrible, you know.
But at least, I mean, again, I don't want to come off like I'm condoning his behavior, but understand that some of us, we're not meaning to do this. It's a triggered reaction to something we were not told not to do way back when. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's right. It's just, it's still there. And sometimes when our brain's not working, it slips out.
Right.
I don't want to be caught in a situation where I'm saying that in public because that'll be it.
But you know, in Twitch's defense, like they run a company, and if you can't control yourself from being angry on TV, then we don't need you on here.
Sure.
So that could be that, you know.
And he did. I mean, after he got banned, that was part. I guess the rest of the story here is he released a statement where he was very critical of Twitch and how they seem to be like, you can't say anything, you can't do anything, and you're always everybody's getting banned now because we talked about another streamer last week who got banned for just saying that there's only men and women. And, you know, they were like, well, you're being, you know, I don't remember they just said she was being hateful to transgender people. And she's like, I'm not. I just said that there's men and women. And for me, I'll just kind of reiterate quickly what I said last week, go have a conversation. You don't have to get her banned. Why not educate her?
Right.
That's what I did. I went out and got educated. I was like, because my mindset was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Because like, to me, like I'm thinking in my head right now, like transgender, they just want to be, maybe it's somebody that wants to be the other sex. Mm-hmm. To me, like, I guess, but for them, they might not identify with either one.
Right. And see, that was the part of it I wasn't really thinking of at the time. I was just like, man, woman, that makes sense.
Right.
And then I spoke to someone who knew better, and I was just like, help me out here. I said, what am I missing? I said, does this offend you? And I was like, no, but I can understand where the outrage is coming from, and educated me on what I was missing. I was like, thank you. Now I know. I'll take it and I'll run.
Right.
That's what, and he doesn't need to be educated. That's not the point. I'm just saying, but that's where his rage was coming from.
His was like rage,
every time someone says something wrong, they're banned, they're immediately banned, and he was just frustrated, and he just vented, like on Reddit or Twitter or whatever, and then a few days later, when he'd had time to cool off, he came back and apologized for coming off as insensitive for saying what he did and what he'd done, and just admitted that, you know, bad things happen when people mess up, and he messed up.
Right.
So we all got to learn, people. That's what this is all about. We don't need to tear somebody down for the rest of their lives.
He
just
got his
for a
pee-pee
mistake.
smacked.
Unless you do something completely horrible, like murder somebody, I feel like you should get a pass.
And even then, if the guy was trying to hurt you, it's probably okay.
Maybe. Rape is also one of those things we're not giving a pass to.
It depends on if you're role playing.
Okay, role playing maybe.
Yeah.
Only if consensual rape.
Right. Is there a
Sure.
Is it rape then? I don't even want to talk
about fantasy.
Fantasy.
Okay. The next thing I've got is the DICE Awards happen, and there were a lot of things that happened. But,
Stuff.
God of War, by God, it mopped the floor with them.
Good.
So I'll kind of run through the ones I consider to be noteworthy, so to speak. But here's what God of War won, okay? Not only did they win Game of the Year, they got Outstanding Achievement in Game Direction, Game Design, Game of the Year for Adventure category, Outstanding Achievement in Character, Story, Art Direction, Sound Design, and Original Music Composition.
Bear McCreary.
And I'll give it to them, man. I mean, I feel like they owned every bit of that.
Yeah, they did. But it was so, I mean, like now that you're playing Red Dead and you're getting into it, how tough was it this year?
I mean, yeah, I got to admit. But I feel like at the end of the day, what was the Game Awards? Was it the 2018 Game Awards that we were watching that I got a little slighted about because Red Dead was winning everything?
Yeah.
And I knew I hadn't played it at the time, but I felt like there was something wrong with that. Like everybody was just like, that's the new shiny thing. Let's love that thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is the game. You know, Spider-Man to me was also one of those that I really loved, but God of War is where it was.
Right.
That was the game changer. And again, Red Dead is great. And there are a lot of it was a hard race this year, but that's the one that deserved it.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's what made me angry about that is that game was so new and everybody was like, we're on this hype train. We're not really thinking about everything that should be. We're just, this is where the hype is right now.
Right.
And it's a good game.
You know, it's the same thing as the year before, though, to me, with the Red Dead and God of War thing, The Legend of Zelda and Horizon, because I've played Legend of Zelda. It's not better than Horizon.
Yeah, well, talk to Lace because she made that argument last week.
It's just not.
You know, she's not a fan. I mean, I've played it at the GameStop, so where they got it on demo and display.
Yeah. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't speak for it as a whole. But I mean, there's something about it as I'm playing it. I'm not sitting there thinking, God, I've got to have this game.
I know, man, I've got it, and I just don't even want to play it.
And should say a lot. But again, I know there are people out there that love it. Great, good for you. I don't know. I'm not so eager to play it.
Nope, not at all.
So I'm sorry.
Sorry, Zelda.
Anyway, speaking of Red Dead, they did win Outstanding Technical Achievement, which I would assume is for the world that they created, which they deserve.
And how awesome is Arthur Morgan, dude?
He's a character that I don't really know what I can really say about him that would do it justice because the way I play him, and I'm sure people can play him like a jerk or whatever, but
I'm just honorable, like all the way to the top.
He's like a guy who's conflicted. Like he knows what he's got to do.
Right.
And when they put him in that position where I have to do bad things, I feel bad because I'm just like, man.
Yeah, because you can tell he feels bad too.
Yeah, because he's like, man, come on, you know. And he's just trying to do right. And then that moment between him and what's her name, Mary.
Yeah.
That right there kind of solidified it for me to say he wants out of this. He just.
Oh, he would leave with her right then in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but like you said, I've got people I got to take care of, and he has a commitment to these people, and that's the only reason I feel like he's still there.
Yeah, because at that point, I feel like he was more for the people than he was for the gang. And he just, if I can see him to this point right here, because, Dutch keeps stringing him along. So yeah, it's wonderful. So that's well deserved. Celeste actually racked up 2. Got outstanding achievement for independent game and action game of the year. Have you played that yet?
I haven't. But
I haven't either.
I'd like to get around to it at some point.
I'm
soon.
probably going to throw my controller. I can tell when I play that game.
Yeah, I can see that. Immersive game, reality game of the year went to Beat Saber, since everybody's been talking about that. Role playing game of the year went to Monster Hunter World. Fighting game went to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is not a surprise. Family game of the year went to Unravel 2. So I was really happy to see that.
Yep.
And then outstanding achievement in animation went to Spider-Man. So
At least they got something.
at
Dude.
least they got something.
Yeah.
They deserve something.
That just shows how good that game was. It came out when they had to go against God of War and Red Dead, and it still got some awards.
Yeah,
So
a little something.
yeah.
Now, the last thing I've got is Nintendo did a Nintendo Direct, when they're famous Nintendo Directs, and they actually had a few surprises this year, or this year, this month.
How many times do they do their directs?
They're random. They seem like just whenever they feel like
A
announcing
year.
something. They could do...
3 a year? 3, 4?
No, there's more than that.
Really?
Because I feel like sometimes they do them every 2 weeks. Just depending on whatever they got to do, but then it'll be a month or 2 before you see another one, and it'll drop back another one. It's like, we got one today. We got one tomorrow. And then just... So whenever it's convenient for them, whenever they want to announce something big. So,
I hope Sony takes that route.
Well, they announced some interesting stuff. And if they did, yeah, that would be like Christmas sometimes, because sometimes their Nintendo Directs are awesome, and then other times you're like,
So I can do without it.
But their announcements they did, the biggest one was Super Mario Maker 2.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
This is not a port. This is a brand new. This is a sequel. They said it'll have a host of new tools and features for the game, but they didn't really go into greater detail. So I'm kind of hoping they'll add more things to it.
Tapstream was excited.
Oh yeah, Trey was excited as hell, boy. He was, because I can understand why. Because if you've ever heard the story as to why Super Mario Maker is so important, then you'll understand why he's been kind of looking forward to this. I guess. Do you know the story?
Yeah.
I'll kind of give it a rundown, and he can probably tell it better. But essentially, he was on the outs of streaming, and he wasn't sure what he wanted to do, and he just wasn't sure if it was right for him,
Right.
And then along came Super Mario Maker, and he's like, screw it, I'll give this a shot. Why not? And then he starts to play this game, and then everything takes hold at that point. His stream takes hold. His love for the game takes hold. I mean, and everything grew from there just because of that one game.
Well, that's great.
So I can understand his desire to see another one of these. What else we got? Oh, this is a pretty big one. I was kind of excited about this. Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening is getting a remake for the Switch, and yeah, it will be a Switch release. It looks a lot like in the designs for A Link Between Worlds.
Okay, which one did you say again?
Link's Awakening. It was the first Game Boy game.
Game
Boy Zelda game.
I don't know why in my head I heard A Link to the Past.
Well, it's like,
it is kind of like that
design,
one, yeah.
because it patterned that for the Game Boy.
Right.
There had that Link to the Past design. I would recommend, since you have a Switch, I'd recommend you getting it and checking it out. That'll probably be the Zelda game you'll love.
Yeah. If it's anything like the third one's still my favorite overall. Yeah.
Well, see, when I looked at the art style for this, it reminded me of A Link Between Worlds, which is
where you go into the walls.
The 3DS version. That was amazing.
And that one was kind of like a mixture between original Zelda and A Link Between the Past to me.
And then
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, and it had some kind of new flair to it, you know? So it was set in that same world. I mean, you'd walk into these areas and be like, I know this area, but then you'd find new elements and paths because it's a new game.
Right.
So, yeah, I love that one. If that one ever came to the Switch, like a port or something like that, it would be well worth it, because it was on the 3DS. And again, that shows that all the Zelda games are great. So what is it about Breath of the Wild that I think it's because the idea is so foreign to what Zeldas usually are.
I don't think that's it.
You don't think so?
No, I think that there's other games that do it better.
Yeah, maybe.
That's it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, the rock climbing is great and stuff like that. I love that. But there's something, it just hinders. I don't know, man. I get pissed off when I'm trying to climb rocks and I fall.
I can understand.
You know, it's just, I'm like, it would have been cool if you could just climb.
Sure.
And just fix it. I don't know. Just fix that.
Understand.
Damn it.
Another thing they announced was Tetris 99, which is a Switch release game. It's Tetris Battle Royale.
It's probably the 99th version of Tetris that they've put out.
Well, the idea is that 99 people can play Tetris all at the same time, and whoever comes out on top is the winner.
That's
it's available right now
Facebook
for free.
Tetris.
Yeah.
I played that shit on Facebook.
So, I mean, you can play it right now.
I don't care. I don't.
Yeah, you want to,
no,
man. Go play with 99 other people.
I love Tetris. I'm not playing that game.
Okay. Another big interesting announcement was they released a port of Final Fantasy IX on the Switch that day. Mm-hmm. And then also said that Final Fantasy VII is coming in March and that Final Fantasy X and X-2 will be released in April. So they're.
Are you excited?
I wasn't, because I don't really have a connection to the. I'm still looking forward to the 7 remake that they announced years ago. But I knew my wife. Every time she talks about Final Fantasy IX was the one she'd always come to for whatever reason. She's got some connection to it. So when I saw that trailer, I was like, "Hey, check this out." And then she lost it. She's like, "Oh my God, we need a Switch!" And I was like, "What?
No,
we don't really. We can get it on the PlayStation, I'm sure."
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I bet it is on there.
Probably. So she was just getting all giddy about it. I was like, "I don't really understand why you need a Switch."
I would rather play it on the PlayStation.
Well, if it would give her something, I bought her Spyro. Yeah, I'm going to complain about my wife here for a moment. I bought her Spyro. Okay, a game she used to love.
Played it for 5 minutes.
Pretty much. Because it was just like, she's like, "Oh my God, I want to play Spyro again. Oh my God." And just talking it up. So I was like, "Christmas. There you go. There you go. I got you Spyro." And she went in there and she played it for 2 days. And then she tried pinning it on me, saying that, "Well, I don't go in there because every time I leave the room, you get upset." And I was like, "When?" And she's like, "Because you want me to spend time with you and all that." I was like, "Yeah, I do. But if you want to go play your game, I'm not going to get upset. Go play your game. I want you to play the game. I bought it for you. I played more of the game than you."
I see her being truthful. Like, you probably just get really mad at her.
I would not.
I think you do.
No.
Yeah.
Fine.
Do you beat her?
I'm just going to take her.
Do you beat her?
Do I beat her?
I'm serious.
Only in bed.
Cut the cameras.
Anyway, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is also coming to the Switch.
Nice.
So they get that this spring. I don't know a specific date, but in spring.
That is going to look like shit on the Switch.
It may. And then they're also, I think we knew this already, but they got an announcement for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We got a little gameplay trailer. It's coming to the Switch this summer, and it will have online play for up to 4 players.
Nice.
So you can play with your buddies.
Hey, your buddies.
All right. Are you ready for some Quickets?
Quickets! Always ready for some Quickets.
And you got to get some water. New Mortal Kombat fighter update. Jade is coming back. And she looks like Revenant Jade, where she looks all dead.
Right. Is that good?
What?
Revenant Jade.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a zombie.
I mean, she looks pretty cool.
I like.
I wanted to see the video because they released the trailer, but I didn't get around to seeing it beforehand, so I can't really comment. I just saw a picture because the Cabal trailer was badass. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, I'll have to pull that up after the podcast.
I don't look at any of it until the game comes out.
Okay. Well, you're missing out then, buddy.
No, I just don't want to.
Okay, I understand.
I like going on there and kind of like
having it all
was.
fresh.
Yeah, no, I don't know who's on there.
Gotcha. Well, I just spoiled it all for you.
No, no one is different than Sin. I don't know what they look like or nothing like that.
Gotcha.
Except for that's Revenant Jade.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Well,
which is good.
If you played,
since she looks like a zombie, I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of zombie Jade. How's that?
Zombie Jade. I like that.
All right. Capcom dropped a slew of soundtracks onto Spotify.
Yeah, I seen that.
Showcasing some music from Mega Man, Street Fighter, Monster Hunter, Phoenix Wright, Devil May Cry, and even Okami.
And that made you so happy.
I did. I've been listening to Spotify this week because I was like, what do they have? Now, they're in the translations The albums are in Japanese, but the track listings are at least in English. So all I had to really do was look at the cases or the cover art and be like, that's Mega Man 1, so that's where I'm starting. And then just go from there. I've been soaking them up. I loved it.
You're a dork.
I love this stuff,
I know you do.
Mega Man soundtracks are the best.
Yeah, they are. You're right.
They really are.
A lot of those old games had these just great soundtracks that just rarely heard anymore.
It's not just some simple music you just listen to and it's like, I can get into this, man. That's insane to say about 8-bit tunes, but you really can. You can just sit there.
I think that is the most amazing thing. They're 8-bit tunes.
Yeah.
And they hold your attention. Mm-hmm. Like Zelda was one of the first ones I can remember, you know.
And you can hear the music as it was thought of, I guess. So you just get into it. I love it. Get this. This was some interesting fact that I read today. An original NES first print Super Mario Brothers cartridge that came in from a test launch that is in mint condition and unopened recently sold online for over $100,000.
So I should get at least $50,000 for the open version that I have.
No.
Damn it.
This is a first run.
That's a first run.
Are you sure?
No.
You don't know.
I'm going to tell them that, though.
They don't. This is official. This is in the box and everything.
That's the one that's got the duck hunt.
No, this is
it's like
this
fifth
is
run.
Just Super Mario Brothers.
I did have a first run, though, because I bought it at Walmart, you know, like when it came out.
Well,
I don't have it no more. Wish I did, though.
Well, you don't anymore.
No, sorry.
Hey, guess what? World War Z is coming out on April 16th.
Good.
You excited?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. April 16th.
Zombies.
There was a developer quoted as saying that the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 2, as I like to call it, will bring major changes in console history. What do you think that means?
As long as it doesn't involve TV, I don't know. I have no clue, man. I'm not going to even guess.
So you don't even want to take...
No,
I don't know. I don't know what he means.
It could be like console powers. You know... That's what they usually talk about. It's going to make history. It's going to be the most powerful console ever. Powerful. So,
like the Mad Box?
Yeah. I think that's what it is. That and just everything could be way more integrated. Who knows?
Who knows?
But then the next one will make history again. They say this every time.
They do. But I wanted to see if you had an opinion.
That was my opinion.
Okay. VR all the way.
No. I hope not.
The PlayStation VR.
No.
No? Okay.
No, I like having my choice.
Fair enough. Former Telltale Xbox, not former Xbox. See, I'm stuck. I'm going to rewind. To former Telltale Games employees. That's what I meant to say. Formed their own studio called Ad Hoc Studios, hoping to continue the idea of a narrative-based game.
Good.
So something tells me if they wanted to continue with the Walking Dead series, this is who, and they could have already had this planned in motion because we talked that Telltale was wanting to do more games. Maybe this is what this was all about. They're going to get Ad Hoc, they're going to do it, and then they'll be published through Skybound.
Could possibly.
How about that? We're already figuring shit out before it's announced, but we don't know that for sure, so that's trash for now. The Epic Games Store added an offline mode if you're interested in that.
I don't know.
Okay. What about Ubisoft wants to make a new Battle Royale game?
Why?
Because money.
God damn, I'm sick of Battle Royale.
Okay, well, they want to make another. And finally, the next Japanese Pokemon movie will be a fully computer animated movie. So it'll be CG Pokemon.
Are you excited about that?
I'm not. I don't really care. I have no truth or trash today. I was really spent and I didn't have any.
This was a rough week.
It was.
I was sick. You were sick.
I was trying.
We're both sick.
But I got some weird news.
Weird news? Is there sex in it?
I mean, you feel like it should be.
Yeah, there should be.
There's not.
There's none.
There's not really.
Not even like a hint.
I mean, if you dig into the headline, maybe you could assume.
Okay.
Because day after day, I see this world regressing. I don't know about you. Because right now, Pennsylvania is trying to pass a 10% sin tax.
What?
On a sin tax. Like, this is bad.
Right,
it's
like
a sin.
you just cussed, here's 10%.
Yeah. But they want to pass this on video games rated M or adults only. Lawmakers are trying to push this. They've been trying to push it through since last year, but last year it gained no traction. So now it's being pitched as additional funding for school safety measures.
Oh, damn it.
So they're trying to,
You can't go against that.
Yeah. Now, the Entertainment Software Association noticed this, quickly spoke up against the bill, saying that it is in violation of the U.S. Constitution and any efforts to single out video games based on content will be struck down.
Good.
And they even reinforced this statement with numerous studies that concluded that video games do not cause violence.
No, they don't.
So, but they want to keep pushing it, and they want to keep boo. And then the syntax. They want money.
Syntax.
Hey, would you like to buy something for $1?
Well, what you got?
I mean, I only got one thing, and it's just something simple.
Did you get it from Shady?
I mean, it feels like something he would pitch.
Okay, let's hear it.
You like PlayStation, right?
Love it.
Do you like old PlayStation, like PS1?
Is it a fucking classic?
No,
You're
no.
fixing to sell me a PlayStation classic.
I'm not going to say you a classic, but I mean, do you like the design? Do you like the old school PlayStation?
Yeah.
I mean, if stuff was, merchandise with that stuff on it, you'd kind of be like, oh, that's kind of neat.
Just get to it.
Okay. How about an official Sony PlayStation watch that looks like the PlayStation 1?
No.
And then you can see the time there on the circle.
Oh, my God. Why are they doing that?
I don't know. But
are they going to put it in a Happy Meal?
I don't know. But it's like a PlayStation watch, and you can see it on the circle. And
I know.
It shows you the time.
And they had Pokemon watches at Burger King.
But this is official.
I don't give a damn. That is just stupid.
All right. Well, they come out in August. And if
I was buying it, I wouldn't pay more than $15 for one.
Did I mention it's official?
Yeah, I'm officially only paying $15 for it.
Well, officially, you're going to have to pay $32.99.
Nuh-uh. That's too much, man.
Well, I'm sorry. That's what they're offering. That's what they're asking for.
You are not going to see anybody rocking the PlayStation Watch, I promise you.
I'm sorry, but I might get one.
Are you getting one for real?
No. Not today, anyway.
No, are you going to get one when it comes out?
Probably not. I'm not a watch person.
Dude, you better not.
I'm not a watch person.
I will not talk to you at all.
It's for kids.
It better be.
Maybe. But why would a kid care about that?
I don't know.
They probably will.
Look at the spaceship. Spaceship watch.
Yeah. The spaceship watch, Ma. Okay, release dates. Real quick. I only have I've got a small little list.
We're in that quiet period right now.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine with me because it gives me less to read.
Yeah.
On February 19th, we have Steins Gate Elite for PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Then we have Death End Request. And I don't understand this use of semicolons in between re and quest. What is that all about? What am I missing here?
It must be a remake.
I don't know. Anyway, Death End Request. It's for the PlayStation 4. Then we have Yakuza Kiwami for PC. Then Unexplored Unlocked Edition for PlayStation 4. Then on the 21st, we have Nier Automata Game of the Yora. That threw me off. Yora. Y-O-R-H-A. Yora. Game of the Yora Edition. Sure.
Yeah.
For PlayStation 4. Then we have X-Morph Defense for Nintendo Switch.
Say that again.
X-Morph Defense.
Okay.
What do you think I said?
You sound like you're that right there.
Okay. Then we have Devil's Engine for Nintendo Switch and PC. Then the rest of these are for the Nintendo Switch, so I can only say it once. Origami Shadow Edition, Hell Warders, Warplanes World War II Dogfight, Rotating Brave, Almost There, the platformer, Yumi Nikki Dream Diary, Cube 2, and Gigantic Army, all for the Nintendo Switch. Then on February 22nd, we have Anthem for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Are you going to buy that?
Yeah.
Okay. Tier Chains of Valhalla for Nintendo Switch, and then Dirt Rally 2.0 for PlayStation 4. Then Unexplored Unlocked Edition for Xbox One. And finally, Quest for the Golden Duck for Nintendo Switch.
Good God, that game. Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, do you want to play What the Hell Did You Just Say?
Well, I heard that you have me some very questionable games.
I picked out some good ones because I thought you were going to be there, and then sickness came through. So what I'm going to do is I saved them for you.
Yeah.
And I also have the descriptions.
Right.
So do your best.
So I have to. Now I'm trying to guess what the game really is now.
You try to tell me as best you can what you think the game is, and then we'll find out if you're right or not.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is Clown Thug Cop Zombies.
Clown, Thug, Cop, Zombies. Huh. It is a top-down shooter.
Mm-hmm.
You are the cops. And you are caught in between a battle of clowns and thugs and zombies. And the world is in chaos.
Okay.
And I'm seeing like a top-down, like twin stick shooter type. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Maybe like something like House Mark would make, but maybe not. Like maybe more like what was that game? Miami. What was that game? You know what I'm talking about with the masks.
Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami. Yeah. Kind of like maybe more like in that vein, where
Okay.
it's maybe not twin sticks, but it looks like that style.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's it.
Okay.
I'm out close.
You hit a few interesting bits that you weren't too far off from. Clown Thug Cop Zombies is a one-of-a-kind game. Now, this is their official description, by the way. It's a one-of-a-kind game like you have never seen before. You load into a zombie-infested game area and are forced to search for weapons and defend yourself from evil clown zombies, thugs, and cops.
Okay, so you're actually not a cop.
No, you're just a guy.
Right.
And they didn't really go into great detail as to how the gameplay. Of course, I did look at a trailer, and I don't recall it being the top, like kind of how you described, not quite in that vein, but
So it's not.
I don't remember.
Right.
It was last week.
So I get a point, technically.
Sure. I mean, you hit a few
Yeah.
points there that were close. All right, now this one's. Should I save this one for you for the end? Yeah, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that one for the last.
All right.
All right, the next one is The Treehouse Man.
The Treehouse Man. I'm thinking Swiss Family Robinson.
Okay.
You know, you crash on an island, and you've got to build your treehouse. And there's puzzles and lots of scavenging and possibly kind of maybe some tower defense in there.
See, I'm going to have to look up the certain game elements too next time instead of just the description.
Yeah.
Because you're nowhere close. Once the kings of the peaceful forest, the children are facing tough times as a horrible corruption has overtaken their home. Even more debilitating or debilitating. Words
are hard.
Debilitating. There we go. I found it. Then the dangers of the forest is the silence of the Treehouse Man.
Oh damn! So he's evil.
The children have always served him loyally and diligently, but now in their time of need, he remains silent. Newly baptized into the group, your task is to take the last hallowed boat to the world tree, on top of which he supposedly lives. You must unveil the truth and save your brothers and sisters, for the silence from above kills them all.
Oh damn! I was way off.
No.
Yeah, no points awarded that round.
Okay. This next one is all for you.
Okay.
And you can do your best to come up with whatever, because this is very, very weird. And I'm going to read it. I'll get to that. Okay. The name of the game: Sexual Manga Anime Balls 2 Spermination.
Oh damn! So it's like all these games are like these anime like story-driven games, and there's choices you make, and I don't know. I guess what was? Read the title of the game again.
Sexual Manga Anime Balls 2. Spermination.
Oh, like they're battling this manga. No, not a manga. That's these balls.
Okay.
They're impregnating everybody.
Okay.
And they're trying to fight against that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a freaking hentai.
I mean,
much.
you might be close.
I know, because all I can see, like, they all look the same. It's like, seduce this girl.
Okay.
And get her naked, and then the hentai comes in and does what its thing, it seems like.
Now, the one thing you would be hard-pressed to note is that this is not a visual novel.
It's not.
Believe it or not. No. I'm going to describe to you, this is word for word, what was on their official Steam page as the description of this game. This game is not intended for persons under 18 years of age. In the game, there are perversions, pornography. In the game, you will beat a member of the eggs that will fly on the map. In the background, I will be women who show their vagina close up. I mean, he started off good, and then he just trailed off into like, what?
Yeah.
So
it's totally a Japanese.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. Now you know what the game's all about.
That's a point. I win.
Yeah, I'll give you that one simply because the game was insane.
Yeah.
And it could have been anything.
Lace, I beat you.
Yeah, because
we by the way, we miss you, Lace.
Yeah, we miss you, but we had to do it today because things.
She's at work today.
She's fine. She's not.
Yeah, she's at work today.
Sick. She's just working.
We're doing it a day earlier than we normally do.
Because some people are busy.
Some people
got things to do.
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm. All righty, you ready for a headliner today?
I'm ready for the headliner.
Because I decided I was going to dig around. And I was like, what could we do? What would be fun? And then I thought, here's a good one. So back in the 90s, Street Fighter II kicked off the fighting game craze that led to so many different kinds of games coming out, trying to top one another by presenting something unique. Now, Mortal Kombat came in with realistic fighters, blood, and fatalities. We got games like Virtual Fighter or Tekken that featured the 3D models that fighting actually looked pretty amazing at the time, even though it's pretty dated now. But
dude, Virtual Fighter was the one, like, if you look at it now, you're like, it looks like two milk cartons fighting each other.
But for the time, it was like, that's kind of cool, I guess. 3D models. Nintendo even jumped in the fray, and they combined two of the previous elements that we kind of mentioned with Killer Instinct. And it was all about the combos. You got to get the combos. Combo breaker. All-time combo.
Yeah, dude, I love that game.
All that stuff. And then they had their versions of finishers, or I really don't like to call them fatalities in other games because they're finishing moves, I guess. But they weren't as gory or bloody, but there was blood in the game, which kind of a stretch for Nintendo.
Right. It wasn't gray blood.
No. That's true. It was blood. And then I think there was green. Somebody had green and
one of them was like an alien, right? Or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Capcom, Capcom. They even doubled down with Street Fighter and added Marvel superheroes into their games. So you had Marvel versus Capcom, and
that's still a big game today.
Street Fighter versus Marvel, or was it Marvel versus Street Fighter?
I think
and then went to Marvel versus Capcom. Street Fighter versus X-Men. I don't know.
Was that what it was? I don't know. All I remember is Marvel versus Capcom.
There was one prior. I think it was Street Fighter and Marvel characters, and then it evolved into the Marvel versus Capcom.
Okay,
I think
it might be it. It might be it. Because I remember playing as Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. And there was that X-Men game, Children of the Atom, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
That was pretty cool too. Anyway, all these fighting games, there were just so many titles trying to top one another. There were some duds out there, to be sure, and there were even a few that got lost in the shuffle. A game like Time Killers. Do you remember Time Killers?
Yes.
That one was quickly forgotten, I feel like, because it had terrible controls, yet it had a pretty good gimmick that was kind of making use of the shock value of blood at the time, because you could be mid-fight and slice off somebody's limbs, so you had to fight with the handicap, so you only had the one arm, and, that was kind of cool, I guess, because you're like, the first time I played it, someone cut off my arm, and I'm like, oh, God, I'm still alive, but I have no arm. So it was a nice novelty, I guess, but the game itself was shit.
Right.
So it was just like, I'm tired of this. And then we had games like Clay Fighter, which is a very unique premise that I personally loved, but the novelty wore off quickly. And although I feel like one could argue that it could be so much better today, like utilize that and speed it up and make it smoother, faster. Yeah. I don't know, it'd be awesome. But that one actually invokes similar thought into our focus, which is Primal Rage.
Oh yeah, that was a great game.
The game was developed and released by Atari in 1994, and this takes place on Earth, which is U-R-T-H. Earth. Hey, we're on Earth, buddy. Where dinosaurs and apes, or dinosaur and ape gods, rule and are battling for supremacy after a meteor strike devastated Earth, E-A-R-T-H.
They moved up to Earth.
And sent humanity back to the Stone Age. At its core, it's a very typical fighting game with tropes of the times, like special moves, blood aplenty, and even finishing moves. Now, if you've never heard of this title before, let me enlighten you a little bit about the game and its fighters. Despite them all looking like mindless, raging creatures, the story points out that the beasts do have goals. We have Blizzard, the ape-like god of good and virtue, Armadon, the Ceratopsian Theroporpher. He looks like a dinosaur. With
right.
What do you call him? The thing with the
tribal.
No, what are they called? With I see the thing there, and I can't think of what it's called.
Think what he looks like.
Triceratops. That's what I'm thinking about, but he's not quite there. He's with the spiky one and the thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Stegosaurus.
Kind of, yeah, but not quite. He's what the thing is that I said there, but I can't read this out of Wade. Anyway, he's the god of life. Talon, the raptor god, well, he's the god of survivor, but he looks like a raptor. Then we have Sauron, the tyrannosaur-like god of hunger. They all wish to maintain peace on Earth, so I'm going to say it. Then we have Chaos, he's the ape-like god of decay. Vertigo, the cobra sauropod, kind of a dinosaur-esque cobra, like goddess. Ooh, it's a female, she's there. Of insanity, and Diablo, the tyrannosaur-like god of evil and destruction. And I wasn't making fun of women. I was just, they do that all the time. You got to put in a woman, so she's the snake. Why is the cobra the woman? It couldn't have been the fire-breathing tyrannosaur. Anyway, he is the evil god of destruction and evil. They all desired to plunge Earth further into chaos. Their names and their deity approximation give you enough detail about who they are because they didn't really flesh out the story per se. Now, in typical fighting game fashion, you can select from each of the 7, each with their own set of moves. Each fighting arena is home to one of the aforementioned gods. While fighting, you'll see your tribe worshiping you in the background, cheering your fighter on, and some will even step forward and worship you on the battlefield. Now, should you have the opportunity, you can eat your opponent's worshiper and earn bonus points. Yes, this game still implemented scores. There was at some point where I was just like,
there's no more scores.
Yeah, I don't care about scores anymore because the games are beyond that. In fact, this game actually features a mini-game in which you are tasked with eating as many worshippers as you can within a given time limit. So if you want to go around and eat people, that's kind of neat, I guess. However, the main reason people flocked to this game, because I know I did, I'm sure a lot of people followed suit, was the finishers. Fatalities were still a new concept back then, so for any other game to say, we can do that too, we as consumers would say, okay, what do you got? Mm-hmm. So this game had some pretty interesting finishing moves that were pretty gruesome. And I'm going to give you a list of one from each because they all had at least 2. I think some even had 3.
Right.
So here's one from Sauron. He leaps into the air, lands onto the opponent, and essentially turns him into a bloody pile of gut.
Squishes him.
Smush.
On Earth.
On Earth. Then we got Talon. He twirls around and carves up the opponent into a nice bloody mess. So they're just sitting there with their skin hanging out, their bones showing, like, and he's dead. Vertigo, she shrinks the opponent and then eats them. which is pretty basic, so it's not as gruesome as some.
Right.
Blizzard smashes the opponent into the ground and punches out their brain.
Nice.
Which is pretty awesome at the time. You're like, oh, shit,
He
that's
just
awesome.
smashes brains.
Then Armadon summons electricity and fries the opponent into a charred corpse.
That was not even good.
And it's kind of funny. Didn't all those games have those fatalities, those simple ones that were just like, what can we do? I don't know, just set them on fire.
Yeah, electrocute him. Put a water puddle in and drown him.
Just do something simple. We don't have to all be winners.
He took all the air away. He couldn't breathe.
Then we had Diablo, and I'm pretty much going to spoil all of Diablo's finishing moves. He just burns all of his opponents. He's a fire-breathing Tyrannosaur. I mean, what else is he going to do? They all turn to crisps. So, finally, we have Chaos. I saved him for last because his finishers land on two separate categories in my book. First, we have the pointless category. One finisher, which I would assume can only be performed on one stage because it would make no sense anywhere else, has him leap into a nearby pool of water. And that's it. He doesn't do anything else. He just defeats his opponent and then just jumps in the water. I don't know what that was supposed to do. I have no idea.
Mic drop kind of thing?
I guess. But it was just like that. Okay, that's it. Cool. Next shows him projectile vomiting into the air, walking off screen, reappearing on the other side to then slurp up said vomit that was still in the air. Does nothing to the other character whatsoever. He just eats his own vomit. It's pointless, right?
Yeah.
I don't really see
That was his only moves? 2 moves?
Well, there was one more. The second side of this coin would be controversial, which I suppose could be the point of the vomit finisher.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just trying to do something for shock value and be like, what can you do? I don't know. Just,
eat his own vomit.
Yeah, because he's nasty. He farts and vomits on everybody. That's his special move. So just have him.
He's like Uncle Frank.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll do that. So his last finisher was to urinate acid onto the downed opponent and essentially leaving behind a melted bone pile of skin.
Of piss.
Yeah. But he pisses on them.
Does it show? He's an ape, right?
Yeah.
Does it show his ape pecker?
No, because he turns at an angle to where you just kind of see him from the back end.
You see his ape
but
butt.
then you see his stream go out and then dissolve and disintegrate the opponent. Now, why was that so controversial?
Because.
Well, it hadn't been seen in a video game. It was about, I guess, what would you call it? Waste matter of sorts. And I guess that was a stretch too far from blood.
Yeah.
You know, you can fart, you just can't pee on nobody.
Don't poop on nobody.
Don't poop on nobody either. That's nasty. So it was so controversial that it was actually censored from certain home versions of the game. Most notably would be the Super Nintendo version, which was kind of strange for me for some reason because, first of all, how they censored it, I don't know if you ever saw this, but how they censored it was essentially you didn't see anything. It would just show like the no symbol, and that was it. So if you tried to perform it, that's what you would get. Like, nope.
Wouldn't even do the move.
Yeah, and why not do some new move?
Right.
Anything, because at least you had the fatalities in Mortal Kombat. But I know they weren't bloody, but they still did something.
Yeah.
So why not do something here instead of just be like, nope, you're not doing nothing. So this is a wasted finisher.
But like back then, like those games play so like crazy when people was finding out about it, and then you could still go buy the game and it not be fixed until a certain point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the next week, there's gonna be a fix for it.
Now, again, I point this out because recently Nintendo had just allowed blood in games. So we had Mortal Kombat 2 had just come out, and we had all the fatalities intact. Everything down to Kung Lao slicing somebody in two, and that thing is nasty. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I
what you
remember.
say.
Yeah, I remember it.
So we had that, and then 2, the game was only rated T. I don't know if you remember that or not. This is only a teen-rated game.
I kind of.
Okay. Now, as gruesome as all it was and all that stuff, I really feel like that the only reason it had the teen rating was because these were not human characters.
Right.
We're fighting with monsters. So there wasn't really this idea that, okay, this is portraying real creatures or real people dying and being killed. These are just monsters fighting one another. You can see that in a movie and it's no problem.
Right.
So I think that's why they got pushed to a teen, which is understandable. But I don't know if I've neglected to mention to everybody, the characters, there's little stop motion characters, like the old Ray Bradbury, movies and stuff like that, which I thought was kind of a nice little nod. So they had that kind of look to them.
Yeah.
So for me, that gave it like a unique old school flair. And even the worshippers were actual live action or live actors. So that was a nice little blend of things.
I remember getting this game from Rent-A-Video. Yeah.
Now, the controversy of the game raged on with parents, calling for the game to be pulled from stores because they saw the golden shower from...
Was it golden or was it silver?
Well, it was golden in the game.
Oh.
And this happened on the Genesis version because, Sega's like...
We're doing it anyway.
We'll do it. It's fine.
They always had blood.
Yeah. So this actually led to Best Buy pulling the game from its store shelves only temporarily while the ESRB reevaluated the game. But they stood their ground saying that the rating is exactly the way it's going to be and they're not going to change it. There's no reason for it to be mature. There's no reason for it to be adults only. Nothing. So they're like,
yeah.
We're sticking to
We all take peas.
Mm-hmm. Even Time Warner Interactive, who was the publisher of this game, pointed out that kids shouldn't be buying the game, because I think what started this was an 11-year-old boy buying the game, and then his mom catching him and like, oh, you hurt my child because I saw somebody pee on somebody.
I hate that.
Yeah. So he said, no, you're to blame here. You should be watching what your kids are playing. So good for Time Warner doing something good
Mom
back in the 90s.
Bought it.
Yeah. Best Buy did actually begin to resell the game at some point. However, it was not the Genesis version. It never got back on their store shelves.
Right.
So they were sticking to their, it needs to be mature. And they're like, no, we're not going to do that. So despite all this, and actually the timing of that was actually after the game had kind of ran its course. So they're just like, we're not going to do that. This game's been out for 2 years now. Screw you.
That's how I kind of feel about like Grand Theft Auto 3 when that whole thing started. Mm-hmm. It's been out for a year.
Yeah, it's like it's too late now. No one cares.
Yeah.
Now, despite all this, the game was a success commercially and critically. Some reviews, however, were not as positive. There were some for the Genesis version. I'd say getting most of the critiques, despite having all the things intact, it was a Genesis game.
Mm-hmm.
And the graphics were unimpressive, to say the least. Even the Super Nintendo version was called So Average It Hurts.
That's bad.
Yeah. So even with all the success, what happened? Now, with Primal Rage 2 was actually in development at one point, there were even promotional materials set up and even a release date of September 1996 set in stone. But ultimately, Atari apparently didn't have enough faith in the project, assuming it was not going to generate enough sales. So that's where that kind of goes. However, and I didn't know this, they didn't apparently want the story development they had done to go unseen. Mm-hmm. So a book was made called Primal Rage, The Avatars, and it was published in 1997 that features the story that was meant for the game.
Cool.
And seeing as how the game would have focused on human avatars for the gods themselves, I felt like it was a step back, and maybe it was for the best.
So you got it?
I didn't, but just from the research that I did looking into it, I do remember screenshots, and they were showing human characters for the game, and I was like, huh, okay, I guess that's not dinosaurs, but sure.
Right.
But to have human fighters and not the dinosaurs, I mean, that was what made Primal Rage unique, was your dinosaur fighters. So why do what everybody else is doing and do human fighters? It felt like a wrong move.
Right.
But should this game remain long forgotten? That's the big question.
No.
I bought it. I had a decent amount of time playing it. I had some fun from it, and the concept for me was interesting and graphically appealing. Because, again, I'm a sucker for the stop motion and the claymations and stuff. I was just like, yeah, I'm in. So the game actually got re-released on the Midway Arcade Treasures collection. I think it was the second one. And I got to play it again. But I did kind of lose interest pretty quick.
Did they have the big red symbol over the...
They did. That was the other thing. I was like, I never got to see it, man. I never got to do it myself. I always had to watch it online. So the game, as it is, really doesn't present anything to really warrant repeat playthroughs. It's just something you can kind of pick up and go here and there.
Right.
And I can admit it'll get stale pretty quick. But I feel like there are a lot of good ideas there. And it's something that needs to be, like, that's what needs to be the focus of the game. The ideas, the concepts.
Right.
You know, fighting game, that's, everybody can do that. It's simple.
Right.
Work on your concepts. Give people a reason to want to play and fight. You know? I feel like if they gave these ideas to the right people and allowed them to create the game that it could be, then I would be interested in really giving it another look.
Right.
But who would do it?
Rare.
No, then we'll never get to play it. Then we have to buy a damn Xbox. Give it to NetherRealm.
Yeah, you can get it on PC. Yeah, I just still wouldn't want Rare doing it anyway.
No.
Not that rare.
No,
not that rare.
Not that rare. The old Rare.
Yeah.
Good Rare.
Good Rare.
But hey, guess what? That's our show.
That's it.
Yep, we're done.
Yeah. You going on a train ride tomorrow?
I am. I'm going to have fun.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. That's what I'm going to come back saying next week.
Yep.
It'll
Good.
be the first thing I say. Thank you to all of our listeners out there in Radio Land. You can remember to follow us on Twitter at Super Mega Crash. Find us on Instagram to view our weekly icon art, or shoot us an email at supermegacrash@gmail.com, and we'll read it on the show because, you know, that would be fun, right? You want to hear us read emails on the show?
I would love to read emails on the show.
I'll do it. I'll give it to everybody else and have them read it because I read every damn thing else.
Yeah, I would read an email on the show or two.
Todd's email corner. Send Todd an email at supermegacrash@gmail.com. Care of Todd's email corner.
Please.
You can support the show. Come on, somebody send a damn email.
I want to read the damn.
Happen now.
I want to read the damn email.
Yeah, I want this to happen now. I'm so turned around right now. I don't even know where my stuff is.
Christ, I
what
can't
are we doing?
find it.
Anyway, support the show. You can press the like button. You can leave a comment. Leave reviews on your preferred platform. And you can even go to patreon.com/pencilandpaperproductions. And should you want to share the love, tell your friends. You can find us on the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network, found on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Everywhere.
Thank you so much for listening. I am Stephen White.
I'm Todd Stark.
Join us again next time, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then, game on.
She was eating blueberry Pop-Tarts.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.